Hello and welcome to another video. I apologize that it's taken I think a couple of weeks now in between videos. I think 2 weeks. I think it may have been 10 days. I'm not sure exactly, but I apologize. I know I said I was done with hiatuses, and then here we are again, waiting on videos. I just want y'all to know that I'm still working on this project, and I want to show y'all those updates. So, because there are updates, and I'm really excited. I'm really, inspired because, I mean, we've modeled a lot of major locations, and a lot of those major locations are not done yet, but there's a lot of stuff that's like in the map. And now that just really opens up the project, right? Because it's like, well, what else can I add, right? We have Hyrule Castle Town in progress, and Death Mountain, and Kakariko Village, and now the Lost Woods, Kokiri Forest, and Outset Island, and Lake Hylia, and we've all, in Gerudo Town, and we have all of these major locations, but what new could be created in between those locations? And that always really excites me to think about, because I think that that's the thing about this project is we're building off of other maps from other games, but fundamentally this is Wind Waker Unflooded, and we are reimagining what Hyrule would look like in the art style of The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker, using the power of 3D modeling. But it is a creative process. It is one where we are inventing the world. I'm trying to use the evidence that's available, right? And the in-game evidence points to, like, the Forest Haven being Kokiri Forest, and Dragon Roost Island being Death Mountain, and Windfall being Kakariko, etc., etc. There are little hints in between places, or, like, the Forsaken Fortress being connected to the Gerudo Fortress. There are little connections here and there, implications, but so much of the world is beyond that. It requires inventing, and that's what really excites me, is just that this is a project that is fundamentally creative, that requires, let's create something new, right? And that can involve bringing in locations from other games and then creating something wholly new. So I guess just like comment down below any ideas that y'all have, and I just want to remind y'all that this is something where we are totally open to doing things completely our way. I don't think we owe it trying to, like, box ourselves in, right? Like, this is a creative project and we can do whatever we want, right? And I don't know, like, I think that that's just really exciting and encouraging and inspiring. And it's like that's the kind of mindset that has led to, like, we have train tracks in the world now, and I'm excited to keep developing some of the infrastructure, and continue to work on those kinds of things. Right? It's like we can make new decisions and stuff that hasn't really been in Hyrule before. And that just really excites me. But anyway, without further ado, let's talk a little bit about the progress that we're working on today. I apologize about audio quality. I'm not recording with my typical microphone right now. I'm away from my desk. So I apologize. But I think that this will do. But I want to talk a little bit about, we're working on the summit of the Forest Haven, essentially, right? Continuing to model just some other areas around that. And I just kind of want to break down some of my thoughts and ask for your feedback. Because we're working on basically going into the Lost Woods, and it's this mountainscape now, which is kind of unique, but it's through the necessities of the Wind Waker's map that we're presented with this kind of geographical challenge, right? Is that the Forest Haven is one of the islands of the Great Sea, and it is at the same height as High Up. It's one of the tallest islands, so its height matches Dragon Roost Island. It matches kind of the Tower of the Gods. It's very high up. And so now we're in the situation where Kokiri Forest is on a mountain. And so the Lost Woods is not just this, like, little woodsy area. It's a mountain. It's a forest on and around a mountaintop, which I think is really cool, and that makes it a very impressive location. And being able to see the Deku Tree rise up kind of from anywhere on the map, I think is going to be really special, being able to see it in the distance so high up, right? Or like the Forest Haven, right? That Deku Tree, the outer shell of the Forest Haven. I think that that's going to be a very impressive thing. And I want to continue to kind of maybe create some, like, giant roots spreading throughout the mountain, I haven't quite done that yet. I've added a little bit of like dark roots from the Forbidden Woods and working on that and having those kind of come up in new places around the slope, but it's still missing just some of that touch. But I'm really excited to kind of just keep working on it and just thinking about that, right? Because it's this tree coming out of the top of a mountain, and I think that that's exciting. I've thought a little bit too about the forest temple from Twilight Princess, because I'm not sure if that's connected to this location, because it seems to me that like it seems to be it in its timeline, it is its version of the Forest Haven. That's kind of my current theory, but I'm not really sure if there's ways to incorporate some of its design into this area. I don't know. Is it an entirely separate location? You decide. Comment down below, because there's stuff I like about it, and I like some of its deep chasms, and I'd like to maybe incorporate some of that here. Some you know, have some steep drop-offs, ravines, right, that are dramatic, like they are in Twilight Princess, but I haven't quite figured out how that's going to be handled in this map and how that exactly integrates with the world. I want to work some on, as well as like integrating ideas from Skyward Sword's Faron Woods as well in the region, and have its unique giant tree, which I think is its own location, right, and it has its own little lake and the Skyview Temple. I think it would be fun to add in those locations. You might be able to see just kind of in the corner of my workspace, that like I've added in like the Forest Temple from Ocarina of Time, this kind of hidden woods fortress, right? And I have a little bit of work to do on that, but I have a start on that location. And I just like, I don't know, like I said, it's like I think a big part of this project is being inventive, but I am trying to like smooth over the geography of all of the games, and that is a challenge, and it's something that fundamentally won't always make perfect sense. You have to take leaps logically a little bit, and or just make creative decisions and say, hey, this isn't going to match every game, but it is something that I think will work within this project, right, based on, you know, what I'm working with. And sometimes you just have to make decisions like that, right? It's like I've talked before about like Windfall Island and Dragon Roost. They're 2 quadrants away from each other, and yet in Ocarina of Time, Kakariko Village is on the slope of Death Mountain, essentially, and yet here now they're completely drifted apart. And I think they're close enough where I can still say that Windfall Island is Kakariko and Dragon Roost is still Death Mountain, but it is just something that like the games just aren't consistent with their geography, and that's just a necessity of Hyrule's geography. I'm really excited about Echoes of Wisdom and its take on Hyrule's geography, because we are returning to Hyrule. I'm okay with that, but I am interested to see what's changed. Is it still like, is it a new take on the A Link to the Past map? Because I'm interested to see that, because we've never seen the map of Hyrule from A Link to the Past in the art style of Link's Awakening, and now it's the 3D Link's Awakening, right, remake. But I'm really interested to see what they do with that and what's different and what's the same, and just get to explore that, right? Their version of Hyrule Castle and Death Mountain and Lake Hylia, and just get to, you know, in the Lost Woods and see how it's all connected, right? And see what's different, right? Because we see that like it has a version of the Deku Tree in the Echoes of Wisdom trailer that looks like the Ocarina of Time Deku Tree. I'm really interested in how it's pulling from some of the 3D games as well. I don't know. It's like that I feel like I'm excited about that. That's right up my alley, just from what I'm working on with Unflooded, right? It's just like, you know, it's a map that merges ideas from other games, while doing its own thing. That's what I'm interested in. That's so much of what my fan project is. But anyway, let me know if y'all have any more ideas about the Lost Woods and ways to make it unique. I'm excited to keep working on it and adding to it and adding some more trees, because I think that's what it's missing right now. But just working on the mountainscape is mainly just what this video was doing, is just kind of adding its topography itself, the actual geography, which is such an important part of this project. And that's something that, you know, there's a lot of work left to do just with that. Right, details can come later, but I do need to just work more on the geography itself, because there's a lot left to do, a lot of gaps left to fill in. But that's exciting. I like, we've done a lot, and there is a lot left to do, but also we've done a lot, and that always really inspires me, just looking at this project and going, yeah, like, this whole world is like, you can start to see you can start to see a lot, right, that's in place. And I'm excited to just keep fleshing it out. And so just thank you for all of y'all's encouragement and inspiration and notes and ideas. And I want to encourage y'all to continue to leave your ideas in the comments down below. I try to read all the comments, and whenever y'all have suggestions, I try to take them to heart, as long as it fits in the project or isn't contradicted by another idea that someone else has or another idea that I'm working on. I try to make sure that I can fit all of y'all's ideas in here, because it is important to me to make this like something that the community as a whole can be proud of and can feel ownership of, and you know, that is important to me. It's my project, but I want it to be something that as a community we can be happy with. So 100%. But without further ado, just thank you all so much for watching this video. But without further ado, I think it's time to let you go.
Now, if you're looking for other ways to support me, as always, you can support me as a creator by becoming a member on Patreon. There you'll get access to all kinds of exclusive behind-the-scenes content like in-progress outlines, scripts, storyboards, rough cuts, and even soundtracks for my newest films. By becoming a member, you'll also be thanked in the credits for any film I finish during your membership. You can also support me by streaming my music. I compose all of the scores for my own short films, and you can listen to those soundtracks on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you listen to music. Just look up Joe Kendrick. That's JoeKendrick. Y'all have a wonderful day, and without further ado, I'll let you go.